You know, it's really hard for me to teach somebody else how to do it without doing it myself. I'm trying to teach you how to do it. Welcome to the Malarkey Taylor channel. Today, I am working on a project that my son started. These are 3D printed grid boards that he wants to make into a wall-mounted item so that items that he prints can clip in and hold stuff. So he has a whole assortment of things that he can 3D print that will mount on these clips. It's like little containers and boxes and things that will mount to them and then allow this to be like a wall-mounted grid system. He has spent days printing these on the printers, and actually even had one that ran out of filament, so he made another. He did one with two sides. But what it needs is it needs a backer board that goes in behind it, and that's what we're going to do right now. Is we are going to cut a piece of plywood that will be the size of this that these can all mount to, so that then he can use it as like a grid, or it's a little bit like a pegboard system, I would say. But got to get that board cut, and then we'll bring it in and put these on it, and we'll show you the process. For this backer board, I need it to be 24 inches by 40 inches, and unfortunately this board is 39 inches this way, so that means I'm going to need to cut a 24-inch slice out of it and then a 40-inch slice out of it. Alright, so we've got the board. I got the tack wall laid out on it. We're here with Harlan.
Yeah.
What do you say, bud? Tell me about this board. What is it?
It's a grid system that allows you to 3D print objects, put things on the back, and then just like stick it on there.
This thing here, right? Can you show me how it works?
So you push it in.
You should be able to just push it against the board, right?
And the little thingies that are called snaps snap into the grid. And then the object itself is screwed into the grid, where you can then have it snapped together and screwed in, and then you can put stuff on it, or in some cases pull the drawer out.
Okay. So what we have to do is we have to connect all these things together and then put screws in them to hold them onto the board.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm supposed to do? Is that what we're supposed to do? We're supposed to put some screws in here to hold these things on?
Yeah.
Flat, I guess?
Yep.
Alright. Well, you see I made you a board.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with it? Do you want to put a border around the outside? Do you want to leave it how it is and get it all mounted first and see what you think of it? What do you think?
I like the idea of a border.
Okay.
And it would be nice to stain it.
To stain it, okay. Well, let's see what we got for stain. What color do you think would you like to stain it? So we have these colors here. So this is like a cherry. This I think is a walnut. I think that's an oak stain. And then I don't remember what that one is. I think that one might be espresso. But those are some stain options.
Trying to decide between these two because
Between those two.
this one looks a little dark and it looks a little black.
Okay.
And this one's I think this is like the same as that one.
I think it's natural. So this is oak, and this
Yeah.
would be an oak stain on an oak board. So it's going to be pretty much a natural
Yeah.
color stain on here.
I think I like this one better.
Okay.
It's a little darker, but not too dark.
All right, let's see if we can figure out which one that is. I think that is actually this one. Is that walnut? I think that's walnut. Yeah, that's it. So that I think is what you're after. So if we have our stain, now all we got to do, I think the next thing that you need to do is we need to get these all in place and screwed in. So we have all of our mounting screw holes
Aligned.
drilled before we do the staining, so that when we drill the holes or we put the screws in, it doesn't like chip the piece off and then make a light piece of board. So how many of these do you have? Because I think what we should do is we should try to connect them all together so that they're all so like put one here and then one here, so that they're all joined together, so it's one big piece, so that when we start putting the holes in and putting the screws in, they're not like moving around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we have these and we can latch them all together so that it's one big piece, I think that would be the right move. So gather up all the ones that you have, and if you need more, print them, because I think that's going to be the next thing that we got to do.
Okay.
If you made a couple more of these long ones, you could probably even like take this and join like 3 together. No, maybe. If you went,
They
like, through
can
here.
go. I think they can go diagonal.
Well, at any rate, even if there are a bunch of little ones, get them here, 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 and so that they're all connected, so that then we can mount it all together.
Yeah.
All right. That's what's next. So if you don't have enough to get them all connected, then we'll print some, and then we'll come back.
Yeah.
How long do you think it took you to print all this stuff? I mean, each piece, the printer was going for what, 12 hours?
Yeah, I think so.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 12-hour prints, but you had 2 printers going at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So probably like a week or so it took you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, he's going to work on that, and we'll be back. Did it come off? Here, let me hold.
These ones come off too well.
That one fell off. Okay. So you have some on a textured plate and some on a smooth plate.
Yeah.
So let's see. So there we've got. Oh, some of this will have to get trimmed a little bit, won't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, when you get back from lessons, you can.
Yep.
Oh, that's just pop right off.
Yep. I should
These
probably.
yeah, maybe that one needs a little more sticky.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal, man. Get them all connected, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
Cool. What are those, bud?
These are screw parts for inside the snaps.
Okay.
You put the screw in.
And that's what we use to mount them to the wall?
And it mounts it to the board or wall.
Okay.
And I needed 60.
60?
Yeah.
Whoa.
4 for each panel, and there are 15 panels.
Okay. All right. Well, we got to get that panel stained.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to it.
One eternity later.
Is that going to be enough?
That's probably not going to be enough.
Well, Harlan has been printing. It's been a few months and we haven't made progress, but tonight we are going to get back on this. So we have all of the pieces connected to each other. Now we have to get the holes for the board and get it connected to the board. I don't remember where we left off on the other video. Do you remember?
No.
So it's been a while.
I think I was talking about staining.
Yeah, so we need to stain it. But before we stain it, I want to cut all the holes, or drill all the holes. So they clip on with these little clips. And then that holds it to the board. So what he did, oh, I do remember, you printed all these.
Yeah.
To hold them together, so it's held together as one big piece. So now we need to center it on this thing, and then drill the holes, and then we can attach it, and then we can take it back off and stain it, and then put it back on. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's straight, so we might as well eyeball it, because this cut isn't perfectly straight.
Yeah.
And this cut isn't perfectly straight. Who cut this board anyway? It was me. I cut the board. So we're gonna eyeball it, get it in there as close as we can. You think that looks good?
Yeah.
Wonder if I can shorten this down to, nope. All right, put that screw in. Don't go super tight.
Yeah.
Just kind of, you're going backwards. That's probably even more tight than it needs to be.
Yeah. Oops.
Okay, and then I think we'll come over here and do this one next.
Do the corners first, and then do the insides.
Yeah. Well, it's already attached pretty good there. I think that'll be good. And I'll do this one. Put a screw in there.
That's probably too tight too.
Well, that's probably good. All right, so then we just got to go through and drill all the rest of them back in, right?
Yep.
Is that what they tell you to do, to put one in every corner?
No, but if I kind of don't like, it'd kind of be kind of annoying to have to put something here. So I kind of want to be able to take this off and it still be there.
Okay.
So
I was just wondering if, like, if you end up with trying to put, you can't, there's like 4 spots here where you can't put something.
yeah.
But I guess that's okay, because
You can put something over top of it like
or
this.
you can put something over top of it, or you can put you can use this middle hole.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna drill this side, and then you come along and do the screws, and then I'll drill this side. We'll go back and forth.
Okay.
Okay. You really shouldn't do this on top of the
Pool table.
the air hockey table.
Air hockey, yeah.
Let's get one of these, but it needs to be flat. You know what? This table over here would be right. So it's not going to drill into anything.
Yeah.
Or
That table
this
has.
table's fine. Uh-oh. Making messes. Okay.
Now we got to take them all back out.
You got to take them all back out, or you can just leave it. If you don't care about the colors. I think you should take them all back out.
Stain it?
Just sand it a little bit and stain it, and then we can mount it somewhere.
Until we get where we are going to put everything built.
Well, yeah, we've got to build the rest of the space first,
Yeah.
but we can like screw it up to that board there, and then you can hang your stuff on it for now.
Yep. Filament. Stuff like that.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Ready to take everything back out?
Yep.
Here we go. The nice thing is too, like this one here is kind of messed up a little bit. You can just print another one.
Yep.
You can print a corner piece and then change it out to a different one.
Yep.
If you end up getting like more of this color and you want to you can make more of the
Make the rest of it green.
yeah.
Then I can build a smaller one with the rest of the colors.
Yeah. Are you ready? Can we pick it up? All we got to do is take it out to the shop, run a sander on it real quick, and then stain it.
Yep.
Something to set it on. Like that. Perfect. Stain.
So like on this one, it's this way.
That's right. Until you just kind of hit it right where the spot is. All right. Harlan sanded this down a little bit. Got a nice smooth finish on it now. Now we just have to wipe it down. And then we can mix up the stain and smear it on. There you go. Now we got to stir this thing up. Come on over here and look. See the kind of chunkiness in there. We gotta try to stir that out. Okay. So grab a hold of that. What we want to do, I know we already tested this on a test piece, but just to make sure, I want to dab a little bit on the back side of it.
Okay.
Just to make sure that it looks the way that we think it's going to look and it's not going to have any surprises. And then we'll do the front.
Okay.
So we're not going to do the whole back. We're just
gonna make sure it's correct.
So what I usually do, get a rag, kind of bunch it up a little bit. First thing I do is kind of wipe off the stir spoon. Get that onto the rag. Kind of make sure that it's going to look the right color. Does that look kind of what you were thinking?
Yeah.
It's a little bit lighter, but we can darken it up by just putting a little bit more on it. We can darken it up. And then we let that sit a little bit. You let that sit, and then you come back through and you wipe off the extra later. So what we do is we kind of put it on nice and thick. So if you want a darker color,
Put it on thicker.
put it on thicker like this. And then you come through later again, with the you put a little bit on your rag. You use the colored part of your rag, but then you even it out so you get the color to be even. All right, and then what we'll do is we'll put it over here like this, a little bit on, and I'll spread that around. Go with the grain.
Yeah.
And that's probably enough for the whole board. Now you got to get that. You got to get that evened out. Okay. Flatten the rag out a little bit. You see how it's kind of choppy?
Like.
So take this rag.
Yeah.
Flatten it out a little bit like this, and kind of.
Okay.
Kind of do that. You see that?
Yeah.
And you can kind of go back over it. See that? It don't have to be shy. Your goal isn't to wipe it up. Your goal is to spread it out, okay? So you don't have to keep using a clean part of the rag.
Yeah.
You have to just kind of take it
and get it all.
And evenly spread it.
Yep.
If you spend too much time in one area, you start to pull it back off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then we take this and kind of go out like that. Kind of work it in. There you go. You know, it's really hard for me to teach somebody else how to do it without doing it myself. I'm trying to teach you how to do it. That's good. That's good. Come into this area a little bit here. There's a light spot in there. You see that? All right, now over here at the edge, you see his spots where it's a little bit thicker. You got to try to scrunch it on there, right? I think we should do the edges.
Okay.
Just a little light, right?
Yeah.
So just come along there and do the edges like we did before. Yeah, that's right. Got it? This might be the same stain I did your desks with. It looks like it, doesn't it?
It does.
We might attach it to the top of your desk.
That's the size I measured it out for.
That's what you wanted it to be?
Well, I measured out for like an area above my desk at first.
Okay. Well, we made those backing things. We could make a piece to come up and hold it. Mom doesn't want it in that living room though. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're just going to wipe the surface to get any extra just dampness on here, because you don't want it to become, that stuff will get like, it'll never dry right. It'll kind of get sticky and gooey. So take this guy, and all we're doing is we're just setting it on here and just dragging it across and making sure that anything that's on the surface just comes right off. Okay, so just drag it right across like that. So that's it for now. We're gonna come back another time, probably tomorrow, and put polyacrylic on it, and just put, I think I have some satin finish poly on it in the basement. And then that'll sit for a couple days, and then we can mount the tack board back on it.
And
Ready?
Yeah, and then put it on the wall.
And then put it on the wall. Right on.
The next morning.
All right, that's the next night. What do you think?
I think it still looks really good.
All
You
right.
can feel it now.
I think that does look pretty good. So the next thing we want to do is we want to put a sealer coat on it. We're just going to do one coat because it really doesn't going to touch anything. It's not going to have food surface. We just want something to seal in that stain. And I had this sitting around, so we're going to use it. Ready?
Yep.
Get a screwdriver and get that guy unlocked. This covering is even more picky than that covering with going with the grain, because it's going to kind of look like wood grain because of what this brush does. And anywhere that it globs up, it's going to stay white, or it's going to be milky colored.
Okay. Yeah.
So you want to get it as even and as smooth as you can.
Yeah.
So it's and try not to stop in the middle, because every time you stop, it's going to do something weird like that with the stuff. So if you dab it on there, and then you see how it does that, you want to go back over it to smooth it out, and you want to get it. This is going to be really pretty thin, but you want to try to keep it as even and clean as you can without many globs. So right through here and out is pretty good. And you can you see that now when you stand back here?
Yeah.
Actually, right here, I missed a little bit right here on the end, but it's there. It's pretty good. But wait 1 hour before light use, 24 hours before normal use. So you give it 2 or 3 hours, you can take it in and mount the stuff to it. But I think maybe the best plan of attack is leave it out here overnight so it doesn't smell in the house. And then tomorrow sometime, when you want to, you can come out and get it, put the tack wall on.
Yep.
And I'll leave the camera home for you so you can record that.
Yep. It's the next day, and I am working on this by myself. And actually, I saw it was stained and got the surface finish stuff on it that I told multiple people about, but I could not remember the name. So now I am putting the screws, I'm putting the board back onto I'm putting the 3D printed piece back onto the board. And that's just it, I guess. That's probably gonna slide right off. Yep. You know what? That one stays on there. Now we have the board with the tack wall, I guess is what my dad calls it, on it. So here we have the multi-board in my room now, and we can take this, put it on there and slide it on to little screws, screw into these holes. So I can slide it on there and push it over a little bit. It's on there and perfectly aligned with the grid. And then there's the small one, which I can take and I can slide it onto the rail and it can stay there, and I can open it up and there's stuff inside. And there's this tricky little shelf here that fits in there, but all of the screws that I have printed, the screws that are in that, do not fit these holes. And I've been trying to figure it out, but I'll probably get it done today. Probably gonna find it, but I have it here I tried printing these to see if these were the things that I needed. And clearly, no. They're much too small. And easy to lose. But overall, I like it. It works good. I can try and get the things off and take this off, move somewhere else. I'm really excited to get stuff finally onto this after taking a week or more to print all of this. But thank you for watching. I think this is all for today. Bye.